Welcome to the Arrington Gavn Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavn is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavn Show.
What is happening, family? What is going on? What is going on? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavn Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Oh my goodness, my friends! On today's conversation, what do we got in store for you today? We're gonna talk some interesting news happening in the sports world. Having a bit back and forth with two former NFL players now turned sports commentators and content creators, Ryan Clark and Robert Griffin III, Heisman Trophy winner. Ryan Clark, who is a Super Bowl champ and had a much longer career than RG3. They got some beef going on. And what's the reason for it? Well, we're going to talk about it here on this program. Also, the Senate Republicans are holding back on this so-called, I use air quotes, talking about Trump's big beautiful bill, which was recently passed by the House in a 215 to 214 vote, which obviously it has to do that to pass on to the Senate. Now the Senate is a bit hesitant. We have a lot of Senate Republicans who are speaking against the bill, so we will talk a little more on that as well. What else we got? Yeah, we're gonna hit some get some takes on that and more here on the Arrington Gavn Show. So again, do me a favor, stick with us and don't go anywhere because we got a lot of great stuff in store for you today. Family, for those who are regular listeners of the Arrington Gavn Show, I want to truly thank you for taking 1 hour of your time to tune in to the program. Here we just love to discuss. We just have great conversations, fun, informative, and opinionated. That's what we do here on the Arrington Gavn Show. I hope you enjoyed our last program when I had on Mr. Blazing Buckshot Bloom, young guy, 21 years old, running for a state elected official position, House of Delegate. He wants to become a state delegate. Very passionate, very smart. But does he have what it takes for one to win the primary? Does he have what it takes to really hold that position? And the big question that I know we've spoken about was just the whole age limit and term limit thing. So if you haven't checked out that episode, you can do so by going on, you can listen on wherever you get your podcast or on our YouTube channel or Rumble, whichever one you are more familiar or, you enjoy watching your content videos on. Yeah, it was a great conversation. Great conversation. Look, I want to shout out, speaking of the platforms where you can tune into the program, let me shout out our listeners and viewers, those who watch us by streaming us on YouTube, Rumble, or either Goatverse TV. If you haven't downloaded the Goatverse TV app, please do so today. It's available in the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire. If you happen to listen to us via podcast, look, we're available on all major podcast platforms. All you have to do is just type in the Arrington Gavn Show. All right. All you have to do is type in the Arrington Gavn Show. I also would love to shout out our listeners in the New Orleans area by way of WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about. That's right. We're so honored to be a part of the WBOK family. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show Monday through Fridays, weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, that is WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about. I would also love to shout out our listeners in the metro Atlanta area by way of WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. All right, Straight Talk. So if you haven't, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. I think that is all we have as far as in the opener. Oh, duh! I always have to acknowledge our social media platforms. Look, for those who are on social media, we are available on Instagram, Blue Sky, X, formerly known as Twitter, but I'm gonna keep on saying that. I feel like even though it's been X for quite a while now, y'all should be aware of, like, okay, what is X? What is that? Well, it's Twitter, but it's called X now. So we're available on that. You can also subscribe to our Substack page where we love to speak. We stream our content from there, and I also kind of have some some op-eds that I have typed up for you all, just because, hey, I always got an opinion on something. I always want to give you my take, unfiltered, unapologetic, zero sugarcoating. We don't do that here. So please do me a favor, subscribe to the Substack page. It's really good. We continue to grow that platform. And yeah, I think that's what I have for you today. But before we head to a commercial break, let's go ahead and open up the show with our Black Excellence Report. And the reason why I wanted to bring up this Black Excellence Report is because this one I really, really, really think should not be like a rare occasion story, what I'm about to bring up for you all. So give me a second as I pull up the story, and I want to give you more, for those who are watching us, I want to give you more of a visual on this. So the late great Quincy Jones, okay, the late great Quincy Jones, music legend, okay, composer, musician, director, writer, producer, the whole nine yards, right? His catalog goes just above and beyond, multiple Grammy awards, you name it. It was just, and if you haven't seen, there's a documentary called Q. I think it should be still on Netflix. It is so phenomenal, and I have every time I watch it, I get so motivated as a business owner to be like, wow, there is no excuse. This man is doing this at what age? Just again, true legend. Now, Quincy Jones had sadly passed at the age of, let's see here, at the age of 91. At the age of 91 years old, he had been dealing with illnesses back and forth, but he was 91 years old. He was on this earth for 91 beautiful years. Accolades: 28 Grammys, a Primetime Emmy, a Tony, as well as nominations for 7 Academy Awards and 4 Golden Globes. The man is just amazing. But the reason why I wanted to share this as a Black Excellence Report, because it was just announced that he left his $500 million fortune to his 7 children. And check this out, y'all. Each child is receiving $71 million in cash. $71 million, each of his 7 kids. I mean, doesn't that just warm your heart? Because we come across a lot of the stories where celebrities or public figures, when they pass on, either they didn't have the will fully formed properly, or the family is fighting back and forth with who should receive this money, that money, or who should receive more. And it's like, you hate when that happens, because I feel as though sometimes it happens more in the Black culture, with Black families, right? We're always fighting over who's gonna get this money, who's gonna, like, no. And it's important that we talk about life insurance policies. it's important that, hey, if you're a certain age, when is the right time to start writing out a will so you wouldn't have these issues in the future. So it says here that he left from record sales, royalties to multimedia companies and real estate. The 7 children, including the actress Rashida Jones, inherited a staggering fortune of $71 million each following his death. Says here that leaving that kind of money to his children is more than a headline. It's a blueprint. It's proof that long-term wealth building in the Black community is not only possible, but essential. And that's very true. That's very true. We talk about the importance of generational wealth. I feel as though this story is a true example of generational wealth. We talk about, why it's important to own property, right? Stop going ham on buying the most expensive shoes, the most expensive cars, the most expensive clothes, because guess what? Material items come and go just like that. That's not viable. That's not assets. All right. Property, real estate. Come on now. Stocks, bonds. I mean, the list goes on and on. It is so important that we have to start learning this at a younger age. It's funny because over the weekend, my wife and I, we were at church, and the minister, which is, shout out to the young pastors out there with huge platforms that kind of change the narrative with the traditional, formation of how, certain churches roll when it comes to, hey, you got to come dressed to a T, Sunday best, always coming with a suit. No, we attended one where, guys wearing some jeans, baseball hat, chilling, right? Just comfortable. Come as you are. But instead of actually having a message to preach, what he did, he had a panel of our elders, right? I think the highest, the oldest might have been 78 years old, all the way down to, I'm gonna say 65. It was good age bracket. And so what we were doing was, you had folks that were either will stream some questions to ask the elderly, or if those in the crowd. And one of those questions, I think, was anything you wish you did when you were younger, or what was it, great advice or something like that. And I think that's what it was. The first question was like, what was the best advice you received when you were young? And one person said, to save. She's like, I wish I would have listened more when they talked about saving. She was saying our young people don't realize we go through money. Like, look, what they say, that money is going to burn a hole through your pocket because you always spending. As young people, man, we gotta realize how valuable it is to save money, right? Even if it's a few dollars here and there. Look, I'm 30 years old. And my wife and I, we're always talking about each and every day with how our proper ways we can save money. Because it's like, prices are expensive now, right? Stuff ain't cheap. Stuff is not cheap if y'all haven't realized it. If you haven't caught on to it, stuff ain't cheap out here in these streets. All right. So it is pricey as hell out here. Let's see, my friends. Look, we're gonna head to a quick commercial break. Please don't go anywhere. You are tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
What's up, y'all? Welcome now.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, that's that new GoatVerse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Let me tell you something most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin show, my friends. Welcome back. Well, look, I want to start off first talking about some beef happening in the sports world. So I don't know if y'all have kept in contact with what has been going on lately, but what's the gentleman's name? Ryan Clark, former NFL star. I think he did 13 years in the league, defensive back. Won a Super Bowl with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That Ryan Clark. He has recently been in the, we have witnessed the trajectory of his career post NFL by being one of the prominent voices, not only on ESPN, but in the sports podcasting world. Okay, we've witnessed him really just grow his career, which I enjoy seeing, because there was always a pattern of NFL stars, just the same as it is with any sport, right? Soccer, baseball, hockey, basketball. When a player retires, they go immediately behind the booth, in the booth or behind the table being a sports commentator. And it's like, okay, you rarely come across some that are like, oh, they're good enough to at least keep a job, right? Or you have the ones that just, you always trust their opinion on, or their take. You always enjoy their take on it. So Ryan Clark has, when he started doing it, you saw him here and there, bits and pieces here on ESPN, but then he started to really pick up. And then Pivot Podcast started. Pivot Podcast is one of the most popular sports talk podcasts, in my opinion, top 5, easy. Could be higher than that possibly, but I'll at least say top 5. It's a show hosted with him, two other former NFL players, Channing Crowder, as well as Fred Taylor, and it's just, you see a different side of Ryan Clark when he's in that realm of Pivot Podcast, because they have conversations with people from all walks of life, not just in the sports room, entertainers, and they have deep discussions. Then, so boom, you see good things happening with Ryan Clark. Then you see other players that say retires and go, behind the table, and you're like, you either gonna like him or you're gonna hate him. Well, hate such a strong word. You either like him or dislike him. That, for me, is Robert Griffin III, RG3 for short. RG3 is a Heisman Trophy winner. I believe he played around 8 to 11 years in the NFL as a quarterback. Really didn't have the career, everyone expected. He had some good years during his, first few years with at the time, the Washington Redskins. Then he went on to kind of go from team to team, and it wasn't that good. And then he went into sports commentary, and you're like, okay, what is the theme here? What is his, how is he trying to grow his brand? Now he's also into podcasting. He has his own podcast, and he tries to come off as a person, in my opinion, that is trying so hard for clickbait, so hard, like a Marcellus Wiley. Look him up. Marcellus Wiley, another former NFL star. He was on ESPN for some years. Then he went on to Fox Sports 1. And ever since he was gone from the cable realm, he's now doing his own thing. He probably enjoys it, right? It's his baby, it's his brand. But they do so much, they do dumb stuff for me because people, I think, are so hungry for clickbait. Now, don't get me wrong. Clickbait, as a content creator myself, clickbait can also be a good thing because you want to gravitate the subscribers, the listeners, the viewers. So yeah, do you want to always have viral moments? You don't always. Sometimes it just happens organically. I mean, I've seen clips and shorts of mine going from 500 views to 1,000 views, 2,000 views. Like, I'm seeing them go there, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess they like that. They like that take. But you just never know. You don't purposely try hard to be so controversial. Now, RG3 is one of those people. Now, me personally, I think RG3 is extremely corny. Hate to talk about the guy like that, but that's just my personal opinion. I get a corniness vibe from him, and so recently, let me kind of go back to what I'm explaining here. The beef between RG3 and Robert Griffin III started when RG3 had to gave his take on Angel Reese, WNBA stars Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. So we all know the whole back and forth between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. When Caitlin Clark does something, she doesn't get as much heat as the black girl does. If Angel Reese does the exact same thing this white girl do, Angel Reese, y'all putting her against the wall like, oh, she's this, she did that, bashing. It's been like that ever since they were in college. They have recently played each other. Caitlin Clark filed out. Caitlin Clark filed Angel Reese. Angel Reese is literally coming towards her, swinging like she really wants to fight. Okay, so much stuff happens. So, of course, RG3 gives his take on it. He posted on X. He says, Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. Is staring us all right. It's staring us right in the face. Excuse me. But people are afraid to say it. All right. So right when he says that, people are afraid to say it. So I'm going to be the one saying it. Boom. Clickbait. Won't answer questions about Caitlin Clark. Gets mad when people praise Caitlin Clark for the explosion of popularity around women's basketball. Celebrates when her teammates flagrantly foul Caitlin Clark. Goes after and tries to punch Caitlin Clark after a routine make them earn it foul. And he used the quotations, make them earn it foul. After Angel Reese fouled Alia Boston with a push in the back that wasn't called. That's not just hate, that's jealousy and resentment. Some people get uncomfortable when you say Angel Reese hates or is jealous of Caitlin Clark because of the complexity, racial history of America and the historic stereotypes of the angry or jealous black women. I understand that. Next goes, Angel Reese isn't just some jealous black woman. Angel is a NCAA champion and great basketball player. She's a competitor who has shown she doesn't like how Caitlin Clark is crowned while she's criticized for showing the same confidence and fire in her own way. That's not an assumption. That's what Angel Reese has said and shown us all. And yeah, that can turn into hate, jealousy, and resentment. That's what makes the rivalry real to a lot of viewers. Now, Caitlin Clark is the most popular athlete in America, and Angel Reese is the Isaiah Thomas to Caitlin Clark's Michael Jordan. That's what will continue to raise the popularity of the WNBA. People care about rivalries. Rivalries are built on handshakes. They are forged in fire, fouls, and pride. Angel Reese wants to beat and outshine Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese has said she is the villain. This is sports. This is the game. Now, RG3 has since then kind of doubled down on his take, but the hard part is that you have somebody that totally disagreed with that statement. Okay, totally disagree with that statement. And this is Ryan Clark. So let me go ahead and see if I can find Ryan Clark's okay. So let me see if I can read you his, because Ryan Clark responded to that tweet on the Pivot podcast, and here's what he had to say. I'm going to read it to you all because I couldn't find the clip. Where is it? Give me 1 second, my friends. Well, let me see if I can find this clip for you. Hold on real quick, my friends, because I have an article here where basically Ryan Clark had apologized because he had an issue with with how RG3 had responded. So give me 1 second as I find that for you. Where is it? Is this it right here? Here we go. See, this is the power of technology. There we go. And what's interesting is there's a reason why a lot of people really don't care for RG3's take on this. And that's because RG3 has kind of, okay, I'll say it. He's a black man married to a white woman. And before I move forward, let me play you this clip. From Ryan Clark, and I'll give you my 2 cents on this. And I'm not saying interracial relationship is bad, because it's absolutely not at all. But let me, again, I just gave you a clickbait right there. That's what you call clickbait. When you say something, what did you just say? Oh Lord, here we go again. So let me go ahead and let me share this soundbite for you. Let me see if I can get it. Is it up there? Here we go. I think I see it. There we go.
Did hate. He said you could see the hate on her face for Caitlin Clark. I'm not really sure when we moved in to being able to read the expressions of a person and know their intent, know their character, know their perspective. But he does understand hate, because I think he also understands to, as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts. Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, RG3 called what Angel Reese did hate. He said you could see the hate.
All right, so I'm gonna come back to that soundbite, because there's more that Ryan Clark has to say. So I read you RG3's tweet. Now let me go ahead and play this clip from RG3's podcast. That really had, it was a head scratcher, because his wife was, for one, sitting in the back. It was kind of weird, because he was just like she wasn't saying anything. She was sitting in the back chilling, like if she was just like, hey, he's about to do his podcast, but I'm going to chill right here and just watch in the background. So let me go ahead and play this for you. Now, those who are watching, you already see the visual. So let me just play this for you, and then I'll give you, I'll share what I, want to give you. So.
Reaction last year when Angel Reese got chokeslammed by Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun. Y'all remember that? She got fouled so hard, they kicked Aaliyah Thomas out the game with a flagrant 2 foul. What did Angel Reese do? Nothing. She didn't get up and try to swing on her. You know why? The reaction was different because of who did it. And there is a lot of history there with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You guys remember last year when Angel Reese celebrated Kennedy Carter getting that flagrant foul on the hip check against Caitlin Clark? You remember that? On the sideline, just, yeah, baby, get her, you get her. Who celebrates like that for a flagrant foul on another player if they don't dislike that player? Okay, you want some more evidence? Here's some more evidence. Remember last year when they were talking about, so where was this type of reaction last year? About who gets the credit for the expansion and the eyeballs and the popularity boost of women's basketball, not just the WNBA, but women's basketball in general, because of the spike in the women's NCAA tournament and WNBA viewership. A lot of people were attributing that to Caitlin Clark, and rightfully so. This is what Angel Reese had to say, and I quote, "People are talking about women's basketball. You never would think they'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to the games. We got celebrities coming to the games, sold out arenas just because of one single game. Just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on to be that for my teammates. I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, the reason we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too. I want y'all to realize that." Now, I heard a lot of people say that about who gets the credit for the or others have made Angel Reese the villain. Did you not just hear herself call herself the bad guy? She called herself the villain. I'm not making her the villain. She's making herself the villain. I or others have made Angel Reese the villain. Did you not just hear herself call herself the bad guy? She called herself the villain. I'm not making her the villain.
So that was RG3 sharing his take on it. Now I'm gonna go back to Ryan Clark's speech, but let me kind of just pause right there of what we're catching from both sides. So there's one side that's obviously Team Angel Reese. There's one side that's Team Caitlin Clark. Now I have said this, and I'll just they're both really great players. They're both really great players. Now, personally, the season before Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark both got drafted, before their last year playing at their universities, the season before that, Angel Reese was the top tier person. Everybody was talking about Angel Reese, Angel Reese, Angel Reese. Then the following year, it became Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Clark. So with that being said, Caitlin Clark's name was in everybody's mind, and then it dragged on into the draft. Now, I can't say that Angel Reese is hating or jealous of Caitlin Clark. All I can say is the way the public shares is what they've seen in past games when this is that and that. And look, we do live in a world where you do have media that will turn a race into a big thing. That happens, right? But I'm not saying that does not exist, because it absolutely does. Now, RG3 is right when he says that Angel Reese said, "I'll be the villain. If I gotta be the bad guy, I'll be the bad guy." She said that. She did. She has said that multiple times. Do I think when I watched that game when Caitlin Clark fouled Angel Reese, do I think it was that bad of a foul so that Angel Reese can go ham? I thought she was overacting. Really, I really thought she was being a little bit Draymond Greenish, if you know what I mean. Okay, you have your actors and actresses in the world of sports, but what hurt RG3, and I'll be blunt honest, his wife was sitting in the back, who is a white female. She was sitting in the back, bobbing her head when he was bashing a black woman. Now, the black community did not like that. Black Twitter did not like that. Again, we already think RG3, and I'm not saying I'm a part of that, but because I caught myself because I said we. I'm saying that I think RG3 is kind of corny. I I'll just be honest. And there's always going to be that stigma of, and it's sad, but that's just America, because I'm being upfront with you, zero sugarcoating. When a black man in sports marries a white female or has a white wife, it sucks, but that's reality, especially when the guy seemingly, wait, is that a word? No, that's not a really word, but it shows that he is criticizing a black athlete. And on top of that, let's not recall when RG3, where I had I called him out because he was talking about how sports, we just need to talk about sports and not politics, being that one of a sports reporter, I believe her name was Mina Knows, she had shared the fact that the administration effed up by removing Jackie Robinson's name from a list, because from a list of his service, because he served in the military, I believe, at the time. And she had acknowledged that on air on a sports network, and RG3 is like, come on, we just basically can we just talk sports, we don't need to make everything. That right there was when I had an issue, because I'm like, dude, do we all know who Jackie Robinson is? Wasn't he a professional athlete? Yes. So she's in the right of talking about that. Again, clickbait. RG3 is just so, I guess he tries so hard to be that person, to not even to be in the middle on certain things. But folks, the black community, we will say, well, it's okay to be in an interracial relationship, but just don't forget your roots. You know what I mean? Don't forget who you are. And RG3 catches himself in some moments where it's like, I think he's kind of forgetting where he is now. He's forgetting who he really is. You know what I mean? So let me go back to Ryan Clark. That clip that I shared with Ryan Clark. Give me 1 second as I pull that up, because hey, Ryan Clark added let's see here. Criticizes Griffin for projecting anti-black women sentiment, and says he's not qualified to speak on the topic. He's not having conversations at home about what black women endure in this country. He added that when they worked together, RG3 would consistently make corny jokes about milk and frequently brag on social media about his wife's white skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special. Clark acts suggesting RG3's bias clouds his understanding of race and gender dynamics in sports. I mean, and look, I've read the comments. People are putting RG3 in the same boat as Jason Whitlock. I ain't gonna go that far, because Jason Whitlock is, I can say some words, but I'm not gonna put RG3 in that boat. I'm not. Now, since Ryan Clark's comments, he has come out apologizing, because he says here that families should be off limits. After a week of cutting insults, I'm gonna read, this is by Awful Announcing. After a week of cutting insults between former NFL teammates and ESPN colleagues, Ryan Clark and RG3, including cheap shots at family and personal life, Clark took to his podcast to pivot to apologize to Griffin's wife, I guess it's Greta, and set the record straight on his opinions towards RG3. He said the whole saga began when RG3 obviously went viral with his lengthy monologue on Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese rivalry. Now, in it, the former NFL quarterback stated Reese hates Clark. Now, that's another annoying thing when folks say, "Oh, he's coming out saying a black woman hates a white woman." For one, you don't even know Angel Reese, so why are you like, why? She hates Caitlin Clark. You're adding more fire to the fuel, or adding more fuel to that fire. You gassing this up. Clark painted Reese as the instigator of their on-court tension. Clark took to issue with RG3's perspective and suggested he's only saw it the way because his wife was white. And again, I go back to that scene where RG3 is talking and his wife is just in the back, like shaking her head, like, So I can see why he would say something like that. And again, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, right? But it is important to know we live in a world right now, a very divisive world. Whether if you are in an interracial relationship, please, you should learn your kids, or y'all should speak on both cultures, learn from both sides. I always say on this show, man, please have friends outside your race. It's needed. It's important. I love having friends outside my race. They learn stuff from me. I learn stuff from them. That's a part of the world we live in. We live in a very universal society, a melting pot of all race, nationalities, religions, you name it. So it's very important that you learn from that. But see, we live in a society where a lot of folks don't want to hear about the uncomfortableness when it comes to race. And that's the issue. You see schools trying to ban certain books, ban African-American studies in universities. I mean, it's insulting. Ending diversity programs that can benefit all people and not just one race of people. Everybody whenever you bring up race, or I gotta bring up race, yo, life is not about being life is not an easy process. Life was never about being easy doing this, easy doing that. Life is about being uncomfortable. It's about living in uncomfortable moments in order to grow. In order for you to be successful, guess what? You gotta have those uncomfortable moments. Let's see here. Where do I want to go with? Now Clark had backtracked recently, continuing to bash his former colleague. Shrugged RG3's assertion that he should be fired by ESPN, but apologized to Greet for bringing her into the disagreement. So he said to Greta, "I was out of line. I was out of bounds. I apologize to all the people who don't like RG's take or the ways that he moves, or even if you just in the conversation take my side and want to support me, leave his family alone." Totally agree. You should not have to bring, and I don't think that was an insult to his wife. It was just it was a reality check. I mean, he was just giving you a his perspective. He's like, look, image wise, it's a bad look for you to continue to be the guy that bashes a black woman, and you're married to, like, that's a thing. That's a thing. Just as if it's for example, you will have there's some I'm not gonna say who, but you will there'll be like black activists that are pro this, pro black, pro white, and then it's like, wait a minute, they're not married to a black, well, I mean, seriously, or a black person. Like, that's always been a bad look. I'm not saying, I'm just saying what I hear in conversations, what I hear in groups. They'll be like, I don't know about that. That's a bad look. And it's sad, because it's like, hey, look, love who you want to love. That's the hard part. But again, we live in a very judgmental society. Let me continue. Clark clarified that he did not like the optics of RG3 mocking Reese's in the original clip, while Greet nodded along in the background, almost seemingly as a prop. However, he said that he regrets going as far as he did in criticizing her. As he said, families should be off limits. I started that by bringing her into it. I see that no matter what my intent was, the impact was different. Now, in previous arguments with guests like Andrew Schultz, Clark has frequently defended black women in his content, and really not just that. Clark, he's big on supporting just the black race. Okay, Clark referenced on a past episode on the Pivot with investor Alex Ohanian, husband of Serena Williams, as an example of a positive conversation around interracial couples. Excuse me. Let's see here. Lost my place. And so He said, in my opinion, wait, hold on, my friends. I lost my place. Okay. He said, Clark takes issue with the way Griffin discusses their relationship and racial background, but he acknowledged that pending that opinion into a response about Reese was a mistake. I quote, and then I'm going to finish this up real quick. She should not have been brought up in me trying to make a point about how having a black woman close to you and that things that you learn from them can help you in the way that you approach and speak to and about them. Clark explained, she didn't need to be the illustration of that. I can speak positively about what they are without making the insinuation that it's something that non-black women don't do well. As I continue, I think obviously this is going to continue to extend. I think they're not friends at all. A funny thing was shared on social media. Was saying, okay, it's funny coming from Ryan Clark because he happens to have a biracial child or children. So they're like saying, how can you talk about all this? Again, he was not criticizing or not insulting RG3's wife. He was just saying the fact that the way you're sounding is bashing a black woman and your wife. It's just a bad look. But I will give you my personal take on whose side personally I'm choosing on. I could not, between the whole Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark thing, I will not, I can't choose a side. Both of them are extremely talented. They're both two different individuals. Do I think that Angel Reese can play the victim card sometimes? I'm gonna leave it at that. Cause and call me out if you want to, but I've just me personally, that should not have to be her career or the conversation for the long. I mean, come on now. She is a talented and successful person on and off the court. Caitlin Clark is a very talented individual, two different people. I think it's starting to be the whole new back and forth on who's better and this and that and the other, who gets called out more. It's silly. I'm trying to remember when this even started, to be honest. But fact of the matter is, they're both competitive players. They both know how to, I don't know if one is dirtier than the other. I really don't know. But as far as for for RG3 and Ryan Clark, RG3 will continue to do what's best for his brand, as well as Ryan Clark will do what's best for his brand. They're both on two different sports networks. RG3 was fired from ESPN, but he has since signed with FS1. Like I said, he has his podcast. He has a career, has a beautiful family. I wish them both the success and all the love and all that great stuff. I just, like I said, RG3 does a lot of things for, that I disagree with, but it doesn't mean that I don't think he's an extremely talented athlete. And yeah, he's good enough to get a job on Fox Sports 1. Do you see me on Fox Sports 1? No, but that's okay. That's okay though, because see, I got my own show. Okay. And I'm grateful and I'm honored to have these conversations with you, the people. All right. Anyways, let me go ahead. I'm going to take a quick breather. I know I stretched this. I didn't mean to stretch this convo too that long, but hey, it's hard when you into it. You know what I mean? It was passion. It was waiting. It was waiting for me. Let's go ahead. We're going to take a quick commercial break, my friends. When we come back, we'll have more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Please don't go anywhere.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
Every man has a story to tell. your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
People age 65 and older are at high risk of injury, especially from falls and car crashes. But older adults can take steps to stay safe from injury and be independent longer. Tell your doctor if you have fallen, if you worry about falling, or if you feel unsteady when standing or walking. Learn more about preventing falls and aging without injury at cdc.gov/stillgoingstrong.
Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your guy, your homie, Arrington Gavin. Really quick about the last conversation we were having. It's funny how conservative media outlets, especially former voices from ESPN, they call out the network and saying, "Oh, they're building a culture of racism and this and that and the other." And check this out. So the Washington Examiner has literally written a piece, ESPN has built a culture of racism because of what Ryan Clark had done, and you have folks, former ESPN voices, like Sage Steele, who is turned political right winger. Again, trying to stay relevant, trying to stay in the public eye. They do so much just to like, oh, let me do something. Again, I go back to like, if you know who Jason Whitlock is, I'm not a fan at all. To me, he's one of the biggest gaslighters of all time. He continues to play the role of the token person of his era, of his, I guess, of his company that he works with. He makes a living off of bashing black people, the black culture, just everything. Oh, did I mention he was black? Yeah, he is. Likewise, someone like Sage Steele is biracial. I have to acknowledge that. But she is just she's doing a lot. She's doing a lot. That's all I want to say at that. Before we jet, I do want to bring up this story. Well, not really a story. It went viral. So Shannon Sharp was on his podcast Club Shay Shay, and where he sits down with a lot of prominent folks, public figures in the in the entertainment industry, sports industry, you name it. He's spoken with them all. And recently he had the founder of Barstool Sports, David Portnoy, on, who is again very successful, has one of the large, Barstool Sports has grown into a damn near $1 billion industry. And he shared something to Shannon that really just blew his mind. Okay.
Hello.
And let me go ahead and share that with you.
Is it true your ex-wife have access to your bank account?
Yeah. I told you I trust her implicitly.
I beg your pardon?
Implicitly. I trust her. If she wanted to take it, she could. There's very few people that you meet where you can trust implicitly. And to be honest, she was there when we were living at the in-laws' house. She was there when we couldn't afford a hamburger. She was there through the grind. She, to me, just like we kind of separated when we started making it.
Right.
So she doesn't get to enjoy any of that.
Right.
To me, that's not right.
Wow.
I'm a loyalty guy.
You are a boy. You loyal to the song for real.
Yeah.
I don't know too many people doing that.
No, it surprises people. But she could have, if she wanted to do something with it, she
Right.
could have done with it a long time ago.
If your ex-wife, is she married?
She's dating somebody, boyfriend.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah. I want her to be happy. It's true.
But then she can't get no more access, Dave. She gotta cut off, cut a little.
I won't even notice if it's
gotta cut off, gotta cut a little.
You mean to tell me she might?
I mean, if she takes it,
hold on. Is it true your ex-wife have?
if she takes it all,
No. But she might take like, you know what? I'm gonna have this extravagant wedding. I'm gonna spend, $500,000 on a wedding. You cool with?
yes, 100%, 100%.
Lord have mercy. What did you learn?
Let me tell you something. David Portnoy, whatever the hell your name is. This is something that I think is a conversation, a discussion between men and women. Let's bring it up right now. Let's bring it up. So say that you are divorced, but you are truly, and for one, y'all have kids together. You're divorced, you have kids together, and you are still best friends. Does your ex still have access to your account or accounts? Now, I will answer that real quickly for myself. Hell no. Absolutely not. No. Now, if I say, for example, if one or the other is still single and we're a lot older and somebody has to be a caretaker, okay, that's different. But David Portnoy is very much still young guy. He's not old. He is I'm gonna just say he might be like in his 40s. He said point blank period, he's like, hey, look, my wife was with me before all this had occurred, and once we started to really grow, that's when we kind of grew separate. But she's my best friend, she's the mother of my children, and yeah, she has access to my account. Why? First of all, that's a much easier process probably than going through the court system and all this stuff, seeing who gets what and whatever. And like Shannon said, Shannon's like, so she got a boyfriend. Oh no, once she get a man, she cut off. If you think about it, maybe Shannon might need to get some lessons, because right now his situation ain't really working right now. All right. I don't think nobody should be taking no advice from Shannon Sharp. All right. Okay. All right. While he's over here trying to settle $10 million to get, with his little, little side freaks, you know what I mean? He like to get a little freaky. All right. But this guy is just saying, look, I'm stress-free. I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm rich. I'm this and that. And yes, my ex-wife has access to my account. Obviously, she's not, doing anything to piss him off, because he's still very much rich and very much successful. So yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. I think that is quite interesting. But I will say, if you ask Arrington, would I do the same thing? And I will repeat it one more time before we end the show. Hell to the no. We gonna settle. We gonna do whatever the course or however we're gonna do this, but that will not. No. I will have access to my own accounts. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, my friends. Wow, did not mean to extend that convo with the Ryan Clark and RG3 thing for the full show. But hey, that's what happens when the conversation's getting good. I couldn't stop it. Look, my friends, we got some more stuff to share with you on the next program. Be sure to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. I truly appreciate it. Peace and blessings. I'll see you next time. I'm out.